Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows.
Hey, it's Icarice, and I'm here to tell you about Hotcast for Podcasting. We are a podcasting studio located in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You can book online at hot7025fm.com. Just click on Hotcast. You can book and find your times right there. Thank you for booking with Hotcast for Podcasting.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Caron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Icarice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
Yo, it's Tavon Greatness Patterson. Want to listen to Hot 702.5 on the go? Download the Hot 702.5 app on the Apple Store or Google Play Store if you got an Android like me.
Let's get it.
Jones, hey, Greg Deville was at it, man, hey. If you want the real, holla at Greg Deville, he'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville, he'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in, we here to help. Now tune in, we here to help. You wanna be a broker, you wanna be broke. You wanna be the joker, you wanna be the joker. You gotta bring more to the table than your hope, dreams, and wishing. I can feed you fish or I can take you out fishing. I can show you the vision, addition and division, mathematic equation. Make the money flip like an acrobatic, amazing. Greg Deville help you build the foundation. I'm saying, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in, we here to help. Now tune in, we here to help.
All right, Las Vegas, good Wednesday afternoon, 12 o'clock. Greg Deville back in the studio talking about wealth and real estate every Thursday, 12 noon, hot702.5fm.com. This is what we do. We want to help you to come to know more information. Today, we're going to talk about what is financial literacy. Financial literacy. Right here at 702.5fm.com. Let's get right into it this morning. We are excited about this afternoon and some information that we wanted to expose individuals to who may not really understand. And so I took the liberty today to write down some things. So I'm going to kind of go verbatim to what I wrote down I thought was important to get out to share with many of you as it relates to what is financial literacy. Now let's break it down, okay? What is financial literacy and why should we care? Financial literacy is basically understanding how money works. It's knowing how to earn it, how to manage it, how to invest it, and how to protect it. Whether you're planning your next luxury vacation, saving for a home, or building generational wealth, your mindset and money habits matter. Now, oftentimes we get paid and we go out and we have fun and we deal with the rest later. But we have to take that and turn that around, and let's take care of our responsibilities. As many of you know, I'm the real estate broker here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been blessed to own the largest black-owned real estate firm in the state of Nevada, which is exciting, which is very, very exciting to know that we've helped more blacks in our community than any other real estate company. We are all about helping our community. I have devoted my time, my energy, my resources, my mindset to helping in my community. As many as will contact me, let me give you my contact information. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group, right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is what we do. We want to help you understand today, what is financial literacy and what does it mean? Being financially literate means making smart decisions with your money. Now, I understand we love having fun and doing stuff and looking like we balling when we really on a budget. At least we should be on a budget. It's nothing worse to me that I see on the streets is when you Louis down but on the bus at the bus, or you Gucci down and you live in an apartment building. Somewhere your investment's not making sense. Because if you could spend money, and let me explain this. Gucci's paid. Why would we continue to pay them, but we're struggling to get paid? We're struggling to maintain our budget, but we give our money. I know this is a hard show. Some days I go hard, but, I get many phone calls at Deville. I appreciate your show, man, because you go hard in the paint, but it's real. And I just want to be 100 with you, man. At the end of the day, we give Louis, Coach, Gucci, and everybody else our funds, and we look like money. I saw a saying once, and I copied it down. And I don't know who wrote the quote, but I thought it was great. It says, rich people try to look poor. They don't try to dress up. Rich people look poor, but poor people want to look rich. Why is it that we spend our money on show flowing when we don't have it to do? Or we go out and we spend a lot of money at an expensive restaurant, taking the whole family. When you think about how much that budget was and what we had or we could have gotten done with and listen, there's a time when we need to accept the fact we can't do all that we want to do right now. There are seasons in life. There are life's seasons. And so when we have life seasons, we got to roll with life seasons. A rose is starting to blossom. The mulberry trees are starting to blossom. But in the wintertime, they lay low. When finances are tough, when finances are tight, things are in limbo. So when we lay low, baby, it's not a time to go out and splurge and do. If you make investments, your investments pay off. I just sold a property to a gentleman who purchased a home with $85,000 down just using his investment, his stock investments. So that was a 2-month stock investment that he made. He said, my stock will mature in 2 months. And guess what? When it matured, he put $85,000 on a home here in Las Vegas. He lives in San Diego. So this is the type of power you have when you make right investments. Because at the end of the day, you go out and get those, you Gucci down to the socks, but you can't get nothing off of it. You have no investment other than you look good. But I want to be real with you, man. We got to get out of the fashion and get into having the prosperity and the generational wealth. Now, if you're creating wealth through equity, meaning you're owning real estate, whether it's condo, townhouse, luxury condo, what have you, investment properties, those investments pay. And when they pay, guess what? Those are opportunities you can reinvest or you can do something for yourself. Take a vacation. Now, I'm not against a vacation. I think everybody needs them. But when you're financially literate about your finances, you understand there are seasons when I got to hold steady. Can't go out every weekend. Can't be out buying all that I want to do, shopping. Well, it's even here in my information. Why it matters. Why does financially literacy matter? The truth is financial literacy isn't something most of us were taught in school. In fact, our parents live paycheck to paycheck for the most part. I grew up in a one-parent household. My dad went to work every day. And for what I understood, he bought a home and he maintained it. But he didn't have a whole lot of extra money, but he knew how to save. And I didn't learn till later on, my daddy was the financial guru in the family. You know, I thought my uncle was the man. He had the Benzos, he had the Jags, he ride Rolls Royce, but he had poor money management. And I didn't find this out till recently. He was telling me himself. He said, to be honest, nephew, he said, your dad was better than I was. He said, because I like to look good. He said, but I would get in a tight and I'd have to go borrow money from your dad to make sure that I could keep everything flowing. But, you know, he had certain habits that he enjoyed, and it cost more than he really wanted to, you know, he put out more than he expected. And by Monday, he spent more than he really expected to do. But I'm trying to help today with financial literacy to help you understand. It's important, very, very important, that you understand what financial literacy is, okay? It's something we weren't taught in school, and a lot of times we don't realize we're in financial trouble until we're knee deep in credit card debt or wondering why where our money went to. The credit card debt and where our money went to. I can't. No, yeah. The end of the day, knowing where your money's spent. Icarice, what you got going on?
One of the responses was because it was embedded in us.
Okay.
Envy. And
Okay.
that was in response to you saying, you know, that about family.
Yeah, yeah. And so we've got to turn away our mindset. We saw, like I said, my uncle, he looked like money. But he said my dad lived real low key. He wasn't lavish. He had the Cadillac Deville. My uncle had the Benzes, man. He was rolling, he was doing it, you know. And I thought he was doing it. But I found out that with all those expensive luxury cars, he looked the part, but financially he was in debt. And so I just want to help us understand, do we really need all the Louis and the Gucci? But our bank accounts, we're living paycheck to paycheck, and we have set aside a certain amount for Gucci to have and Louis to have? Well, at the end of the day, I want to help you get into real estate investments. I want you to have investments that can pay for your luxury items. Let me give you an example. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read the book, and he was telling the story about his wife. She wanted a new Mercedes, and she told him, hey, honey, I'm going to pay cash for a new Mercedes. He says, well, before, and I think it was running around $60,000, $80,000 at that time. And he said, well, honey, why don't you take that $80,000, put it on a fourplex apartment building, and make a residual income investment. And with that investment, let one of the 4 units pay the note for the car. So your income investments, which can be considered residual income, can pay for what you're trying to do. So I want to keep in mind that when you make investments, those investments pay off. Now, you can have the luxury trips, and you can have, but if we don't have investment, we just taking trips, then we just spinning our wheels. I'm not against taking trips, but I think our investments need to be in proper position, right? So being financially literate means making smart decisions with your money, avoiding unnecessary debt, and building a future where you're not just surviving, but you're thriving. Not just surviving. Because again, I see many people, and I actually see a friend of mine at the bus stop with Gucci sunglasses and at the bus. I think, bruh, this don't even go together. We gotta come on. I tell him all the time, like, man, you like the show flow, but come on, man, we gotta pull our step of game up, man. You priorities wrong. And I say it to him all the time. At the end of the day, I'm talking to you live on radio about making investments so that if you want Louis glasses and shirts, and the shirt run about $2,500, you know, if that's what you want. But do we have investments that are helping us to gain the successes that we're looking for? So remember, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Now, financial literacy, why it matters. The truth is, financial literacy isn't something most of us were taught in school, and a lot of times we don't realize we're in financial trouble until we're knee deep in credit card debt or wondering where our money went. But knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more you grow. Financial freedom starts with financial literacy. Be aware of your finances, your spending habits. again, brothers, now I sell as a realtor, as a real estate broker, I sell 95% of homes to ladies. And I would like to think one of the reasons men are a little delayed is because we like to entertain ladies and we spend more money on the ladies. The ladies hold their money. So when they go out, we buy them dinner, we buy them, dessert, taking them to the movies. They don't spend a dime. But brothers, we spend the money, right, to take them out, and they money they have a good time. Women have a great weekend. Every weekend, women be lit. They have fun. And the brothers are paying for it. Whether she's your lady or you're just trying to meet her, you're just trying to get at her, you can I buy you a drink? Can I buy you dinner? Can I take you to lunch? Right? We do the Friday night dinner. Then you want to impress her on a Saturday day lunch, right? Then Saturday night we're gonna go to the movies. Sunday we're gonna do Sunday brunch. But who paid for the whole weekend? You did. And she got her money stacked. And then not only that, but then she may ask, you know what, I got an expense. Can you help me pay my car note? Ladies, come on now. Let's keep it 100. Look, I'm 60 years old. I've been around the block. I understand. I see how it goes. And so that's how ladies are in a position that they can buy homes. And the brother's like, Deville, I'm not quite ready, man. I got to work on my credit. Because a lot of time we're trying to entertain on the money that was made for the credit card. And so now we maxing our credit card trying to be impressive. And what happens is we go into debt, but the ladies are buying a house. Well, I'm just saying, I'm telling you, from the horse's mouth, I sell real estate and 95% of buyers are women. I get off the show today. We're going to a real estate signing with my client. She is buying a home. She is getting her keys. Next week, there's another buyer that's going to close with me, and she is going to get her keys. Now, again, the ladies are buying. Fellas, we got to step up our game. We got to figure out, look, at the end of the day, I know you want to impress her. We got to pick a day. We can't do the whole weekend because it's taking up our credit cards. It's taking up our funding, our finances, so that we're in this tight place and we can't afford to get out of that apartment. Now, we got a nice ride. Yeah, we look good. We rolling nice. We doing whatever your favorite ride is, and it's clean. And you got a car note, but trying to entertain her. And I'm not against entertaining her we just may have to cut back a little bit. And is it wrong, E, if you would grab the mic, is it wrong for the fella to ask her, hey, we're going to go out tonight, but tomorrow, how do we ask you, is it on you? Let me understand right here.
You wouldn't have to. So a real one. I mean, but at the same time, you should be paying. Sorry, Greg. I'm turning the mic off.
So wait, no. We're going to talk about this because at the end of the day, brothers, I'm trying to get brothers into generational wealth.
I think that you're right in what you're saying, but I don't think that women look at it in that way. Like you go out, you entertain us.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about economically. Men make more than women. So even if we had the same job, right? Although those are laws and this Constitution, but we know what's going on with this presidency, child. Okay, listen.
Yeah, but wait a minute, hold up. You said men make. Wait a minute, there's some ladies.
No. I'm saying if we had the same job, right? Essentially, you as a man would likely make more money than I do, even though I may be more educated, more whatever. It doesn't matter, right? That's just how it is economically.
Okay.
So we go on a date. You as a gentleman, you're gonna pay, right? That's just who you are, right? So I think that after so many dates, your lady would go ahead and take care of
So is it after $3,000, $5,000?
It's the dollar. The dollar isn't it?
No. We've been going. I'm digging you. We going out tonight. Mm-hmm. I want to see you again tomorrow. Sunday brunch. Do I have to pay for the whole weekend? Do you not come? Really? Because I want to see you. Want to see me too, though. You digging me? I'm digging you. You
but
you're
courting me.
Oh wow!
So I think it's a difference based off of a person who is chivalrous, right? Uh-huh. And that's you. So let's not even try to front like you not gonna pay for the whole weekend because that's just who you are, right?
I'm trying to get us to the place we could start creating generational wealth,
right? But we can. But what I'm telling you is that the level of dollars is not equal if we are on the same playing field. Now, in the event that I just happen to be the rich one. And you doing okay, yeah. But I got all the bread.
Yeah.
Yes, you still court me that weekend, but I probably got you next time.
So now, because you want to see me, you like a brother swag. You want to, you wanted to see him. Because if I ask you want to go tomorrow, you're like, yes, I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, don't ask me then. Listen, you know the rules.
You ask, you pay.
Exactly. You know the rules. Now there will be a time where she'll be like, it's cool, I got it.
Okay, so if I ask, I pay. She
took
doesn't.
Care of it.
Okay, you already took care of it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we go, and because women, I've been seeing, they just want everything they want. They drink whatever they want to drink. They whatever they want to have. They just put it on the brother. So I'm trying to get brothers. So maybe we should go Friday, Saturday.
Men, I'm sorry.
Okay.
My grandfather would not let me play for anything. I remember I was a grown woman. Okay, yeah. I'm 30.
Yeah.
Make over $200,000 a year.
Okay.
My grandfather would try to give me gas money when I went to his house. Okay. If we went out to lunch, he would never let me pay.
Right,
I remember one time I was able to sneak and pay the waiter before, for my grandparents' meal.
Yeah.
Before.
Okay.
So that's listen, blame it on my grandfather. Bring it on my dad because my dad is not gonna let me pay. My husband's not gonna let me pay.
Yeah.
So
I'm just
sorry.
I'm just trying to bring a clarity to, do we always have to foot the whole thing? Because brothers, again, I mentioned 95% of women in my real estate company are buyers, right? Mm-hmm. They're buying, they're purchasing homes. Men are in the back end. They're barely able to come around because they're footing all the bill.
Right.
But I think if we get in a relationship, we're talking, right? Maybe I should communicate, I'm trying to purchase a home.
Yes, you should.
And be
transparent. Agree with that.
Yeah. And say, you know what? I'd love to see you tomorrow just financially. I know brothers' pride don't want to say, but realistically.
But do you know how much, especially a woman who has her ish together?
Yeah.
Do you know how, if a guy said that,
yeah.
If a guy said, hey, you know what? I want to wine and dine you, but I'm also trying to purchase a home. And at this point, I have this amount of money that I'm, putting away.
Yeah.
So I want to let you know that so we understand, I'd love to date you every day. But I have other goals
and obligations.
Man, listen, if I heard that, just gave me chills saying it myself.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because women want to know, okay.
He's being responsible.
I like this.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking in my head, he's a provider.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he already is going to have these things when it's time. So now you didn't turned it up already.
So brothers need to take the pride down, tone it down a little bit. Brothers ain't going to say nothing.
Ego,
ego,
but you should be transparent, because that's what's going to win. That's what's going to help you win.
Because when we're talking financial literacy, it's understanding finance. I love to take you on a date tomorrow. We're going tonight and tomorrow because you like to see her. Mm-hmm. But just keep in mind, so men's expenses suffer because we're trying to impress.
But that's your fault. You don't have to take me to a $700 dinner every night.
I would hope they're not.
Oh, they are.
Well, that's why the show today was designed to let's talk about it. Do I really need to impress you that way, or can I just
impress me with planning, not necessarily the lavish, part of the date. Like, of course, I love fine dining, all that stuff. Okay. That's great, right?
Right.
Every lady likes to be treated like a lady and be fine dined. Okay, but there are other things that are fun, that you can do that aren't as expensive. And then to ask your friends for the hookup if you got to, so you're not having to pay for certain things, and then that can go into your gold pot.
Okay.
And I think that you're right in what you're saying, because from my perspective, I'm not thinking of it like, okay, he's taking care of all of this, but I'm going on all these dates and he's paying. He's so sweet,
That brother's drowning in debt.
I bought 2 houses in a condo. He's still trying to take me to the steakhouse. Like, it's really, I get it.
Yeah,
I get exactly what you're saying.
And so if we could raise the awareness to brothers, say, look, brother, I know you digging on old girl and she bad, right? And you like being in her company, but let's stay focused on our goal, because I read just a moment ago that sometimes we're knee deep in credit card debt, right? But knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more you grow, right? Financial freedom starts with financial literacy. And so sometimes and the other thing is, here's a point that I'd like to also talk about is, why is it people think every time they go out, they need a new outfit? We forget all the clothes we got, because that's another expense. Even for ladies, my daughters, they need a new outfit to go out every time. Like, everybody haven't seen everything you wear. Who knows what you wore last month? Like, I don't know.
Because of the photos. That's why.
Well, don't take so many photos and everything.
You can't tell the ladies that, especially when they think they're looking cute. Like, you gotta take a photo.
So that's another financial literacy point that we want to talk about is some of our budgeting. Like,
absolutely.
If you're going to go out, go. So I bet you guys, enough clothes in the closet, you don't have to wear the same thing for at least 6-7 months. That's how many clothes you have. But I tell you, if you take things to the cleaners, it comes brand new. It looks like brand new again, right? And so now we have things that nobody ever seen us in. Is it that you can only wear it and feel cute one time, E?
No, I think you could wear it several times. I think that it's just the age of social media, and then and the idea of you being caught in that same outfit 2 times on somebody else's picture or your picture. Listen. I'm over taking pictures. My husband and I will go somewhere to take a picture. Yeah. I hardly post it. You know what I mean? Like we have so many memories together. Yeah. But it's just I think that sometimes it's the young ladies, they want to pop out and show.
Okay, I get it. But at the same time, we're going to talk about financial literacy.
But I think you can also be frugal in the things that you purchase. So do you have to purchase a $200, $300, $400 dress every time you go out? You do not.
So does it have to be Gucci, Louis?
First Coach? Of all, why are we still buying Gucci and Louis?
Well, whatever the name brands are, whatever they are.
I'm not going to front like I didn't buy those things.
Yeah.
Okay. But at this point, we buying black luxury, and it's a lot less expensive.
Okay.
And it looks better too.
Looks better.
So yeah.
Black luxury.
Yes. Okay. So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
But also too, you can dress up anything.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, ladies
mix match. Mix match.
You can.
I'm just trying to help people to come to grips with understanding your finances, and that when you get paid, a lot of times Saturday mornings they're at the mall, right? And so we're spending money that we should be
on
really
Amazon or Shein.
That's on my
Shein and
that's on the list too. This Amazon. So how do we control?
I'm guilty for Amazon.
Amazon will mess you up. You will order 2 of the same item, one large and extra large, in case one didn't fit, and you meant to send the other one back, and for whatever reason it's still. You're like, I thought I sent that back, and how many things we didn't send back we stuck with.
I got some things waiting to be sent back now.
Can you send it after 30 days?
I don't think you can.
See,
but you know what? I successfully did it last month though.
Okay,
and they did give me a credit back.
Okay.
I was surprised.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, I got over on them.
Yeah, time goes by, and that's the other thing. The Amazon, it's so easy. So I think thinking about wants and needs is important, right? So we talk financial literacy. Do I really need that right now? And I know we always say, yeah, I need it. I need this. But at the end of the day, if we're staying focused on building our savings, there's a portion here in my research that I was doing. It says right here, tips for boosting financial literacy. Here are a few tips to help get financially lit, literally. Create a monthly budget. Know what's coming in and what's going out. Apps like Mint, YNAB, or even a simple Excel sheet can help you stay on track. Track your spending. Small expenses add up. That daily coffee, Uber rides, or random Amazon buys might be eating up your savings. Build an emergency fund. Aim to have at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. It gives you a peace of mind and prevents panic during life curveballs. Pay down debt, especially high interest ones. Tackle credit card aggressively. That debt, attack it aggressively. Start with the highest interest rate first, or use the snowball method for quick wins. Snowball method meaning consolidating everything, putting everything into one. Now, consolidation will help you. Many people I've spoken with have consolidated, and it's really helped you to now you've got one monthly payment. Now you can breathe. But what happens is they get in danger all over again now because you got this extra money. And so if you have bad spending habits, you need to study financial literacy and how to save and build an emergency fund, track your spending, right? Track your spending and create that monthly budget. Number 5, learn the basics of investing. Don't be intimidated. Look into index funds, Roth IRAs, or even fractional shares. Investing helps your money grow over time. Now, I know sometimes it looks like, and especially now, it's a little scary. Why? Because the stock market just plunged, right? We talking these tariffs and so many things that are coming against the economy that, like, your 401k, you're afraid it's going to become a 201k, right? It's just crazy times. But if you continue to shop and times get crazy, that means you have no leverage. You got stuff, right? You got stuff. You got nice, and these car notes today, so expensive, and the auto insurance. And don't, God forbid, something happens. I've heard a few of my friends got, people that I've heard got drunk driving issues, got a drunk driving, and now you need to file this SR22, which now your insurance went up another $250. So there's a lot to really consider with this economy that's going on. So learn the basics of investing, right? Don't be intimidated. Look at the different funds, XRPs, Bitcoin, the different ones that are out there, real estate. Now, the good part about the real estate is that, the market is holding steady. The market is fine. We're looking well when it comes to investment properties. In fact, rents are going up. So can you imagine if you were a landlord? Can you imagine taking your 401k right now, using it towards fourplex apartment unit, or getting a duplex, something that creates a residual, not just a house, a home where it's just an income pays for the home, but something residually, such as fourplex, duplex, 10-unit building, just using the equity in your home and creating that, multi-stream income for generational wealth. These are the kind of things that are available to you if you already own a home. But if you don't own a home, you're setting yourself back. So what your landlord is doing is you're one of his investments. You're paying one of his investments off. The other guy's paying his other investment. So if you're living in that condo that somebody owns, that you're renting from, now the property management manages it, but it's owned by a person. And so you're paying down the principal, and they're just forever refinancing it, taking money out to go purchase something else. So let me put you in the driver's seat that now you start investing in yourself while you got that 401k, while you're a veteran. You can use your VA, purchase a fourplex. You may have to live in one of the units for 1 year. You just can't rent it. You don't necessarily live in it, but you can't rent it. But they want you to stay there for 1 year. Now, if you can make the sacrifice for 1 year, one Christmas tree, one Easter basket, one Thanksgiving dinner, whatever, just 1 year. So at the end of the day, you can sell it, take the equity out of it. Now, guess what? Let's say you rent that unit and the other 4 units already rented. They're paying the mortgage. You've lived rent-free for a year. So you should be stacking your funds, right? Your funds are being stacked. So now you staying rent-free at 1 year, stacking 12 months, figure you were paying $1,800 a month, you're going to stack to 18. It's not free shopping money. We have a game plan, a strategy that we're trying to accomplish something. Because at the end of the day, real estate is by far your best investment. There ain't no more dirt. They having to tear down mountains in Vegas to get dirt, to build. So get something. I like investing in flip properties. I got a flip. I finally completed last week, got it up for sale, took this house. I had to evict the tenants, the rats and the roaches. Everybody had to get out. Tear the house, tore the inside out, gut it, and just all the rat holes and all. It was just disgusting. But at the end of the day, it's a brand new house inwardly. Outwardly, it's still the same house. I re-stuccoed, did some improvements out there, the roof, different things like that, the windows. But at the end of the day, it's still an old house, but it's been totally redone. And so look into getting into flip. You want more information? Give me a call, 702-349-0162, Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group. We're talking what is financial literacy and why does it matter? So learn the basic of investments. Check your credit regularly. Your credit score can impact your ability to buy a home, get a car, or even land jobs. Stay on top of your credit. Very, very important. The other thing, number 7, live within your means, but dream beyond them. Live within your means, but dream beyond them. Why I talk about making investments into real estate. Because the rents now, Vegas, you know why a lot of investors are paying cash for homes in Vegas now? Because the rents are flexible. There was such a cap before. You couldn't rent a 4-bedroom house more than 15. I rented a 5-bedroom in Centennial for $1,500 a month. Now that house is $2,700 a month because there's no cap in real estate renting in Vegas. So the investors are going in, doing minimal work, buying them cash, and using for rental properties. The investment opportunities are here. They're available. So if you do own property, or let's say you want to take your property, you need to upsize, downsize, we can use your property, sell the property. Guess what? The next thing you're going to do is take that money, because you don't need to buy anything. You're going to realize you got a lot of stuff when it's time to move. But you're going to invest that money into something new, maybe more of a dream home. Because remember, your first home's not your dream home. It's a nice home. It's decent. It worked for the years you've been there. But now you really want to step up into something more luxurious, right? Something more, that fits your swag. Now you want a pool, or maybe you don't want a pool anymore. Whatever it is you want to do. Recently I've had some clients been listening to my show. I've been radio 9 years, several different radio channels and television, different marketing strategies that I like to do to give and encourage people to generational wealth through real estate. So they had a home in Summerlin, but he worked near Henderson. So he said, man, I want to move closer to work. I'm tired of fighting traffic. So we took a home equity line of credit on that home. He didn't want to sell it. Now, remember, home equity line of credit is the way to go. You can use the home equity line of credit, and guess what? With that, take the money out. You get up to 80%. Now, use those funds, and you're going to rent that house. The rent is going to cover the mortgage. So you're no longer going to be paying that mortgage, because you're going to rent it for whatever the mortgage is. You're going to get the new house. You're going to pay the mortgage there. But you're going to put a substantial amount down from the equity of this house, which is coming out of that 80%. Now, while you got this funds, for example, they got that 80%. They paid down some credit card debt, which eliminated some of the debt ratio. And then they were able to put another $60,000 on the house. So what does that mean? They got the dream home now with the pool, the balcony, 5 bedrooms, fireplace in the master primary bedroom. Listen, they got the bells and whistles. And the home was refurbished. It was totally redone. Now it was built in the early, mid-2000s. Beautiful home in Henderson. But, again, they did it by simply using the equity. So that's what your landlord is doing. So they rented the Summerlin home to expecting the tenant, to pay the mortgage. Well, that's what they're expecting of you. You're a tenant. The landlord is expecting you to pay the mortgage while he lives in this big fancy house. Because remember, many of them lived in these homes. Now they're in their second home, but they're keeping that home. Why? Because they're getting equity there as well as where they're living. So let me put you in the driver's seat, right? Become financial literate about how money works. And if you be smart about it, brothers, I know you want to take her out, but maybe you can only take her out Friday night, Saturday night. But every night, be realistic and be transparent. Say, look, I got a plan that I'm doing right now. I'd love to take you out, but financially, I'm saving money to do something. And as Carice told you, the valuableness of sharing where you're at, being open about it, being transparent, telling a woman, I got something planned with my money. I don't want to just go out. Not that you're not worth going out. I'd love to take you out, but financially, every day is just not going to work, right? And maybe at that point, she might even feel like, well, you know what? I think I'll pay for us tonight. Now, she may not go where you take. She may not go to the restaurant you go to. Is that something y'all would do? Now, if he's taking you to this fancy, Wally's in Resort World, where do you take him on this date? Because you offered to pay. Do you the same level of standard, or how does that work?
You know what? I would say I'm very spoiled.
Okay.
My husband does take very good care of me.
Okay.
So a few weeks ago, I took him on a date.
Yeah.
And I think my date definitely was $1,000 date.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. So. And we went to a show. We went to a nice dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. I drove him too, so I didn't open the door though. I drove him. I paid for that expensive ass valet at the casino, it was at least $1,000 date.
Okay, but now I want to.
And so,
but you're married. Let's talk about it from that single.
Even before,
okay.
I flew him out. I flew him out.
Okay.
You know how they say it.
Okay.
Before we were married.
Okay.
He always took me on nice dates or whatever. So, I said, you know what? let's go fly him out. So we went out and, you know, had a nice hotel on the beach, and it was just, you know, it was just a overnight. Well, it was 2 days.
2 days.
So it was a 2-day trip.
Okay.
And, you know, so I don't have a problem with, I can be a trick. Call me a trick, whatever.
Oh, is that what they classifying it as a trick? Because you did for him?
No. Either way.
Okay.
On each end, it's the same, right?
Yeah, okay.
Because I think that's fair. I think you should do those things for each other.
But if men always showboating as if we
I don't think
need...
that's showboating.
Well,
I just think that I think it has to do with chivalry. Because I think, like I said before, I think that you are a very chivalrous person. If I was to say, even if I said, "Hey, Greg, let's go to lunch," I know Greg's going to pay for lunch. I know it.
Well, in my mind, I'm like, is she paying? I'm like, when the bill comes, she don't reach, I'm going to pay for it. But if you invite somebody, you're right. You typically would pay. Yeah,
but there is a certain level of chivalry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, there are certain men who just not going to let you pay. And it's okay. You know, that's just who they are as a person. But I think that, you know, sometimes women, I don't have a problem with paying for certain things. Mm-hmm. You know, if I invited you, if it's my, you know, my thing or whatever, yeah. So.
Okay. All right.
It depends, but I do think that being transparent about what your goals are or what you're trying to do would be helpful in letting your partner understand why we're not turning up every day.
Yeah. A whole weekend. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good stuff. So, living within your means, but dream beyond them, right? It's okay to enjoy life, but be smart. Plan for luxury experiences without sacrificing your long-term goals. So you can have fun, but you got long-term goals. And I think that's important to disclose to someone you're interested in. Right now, me, I'm a little more frugal, if you will. If I were interested, I might want to go for coffee and let's just talk and let's see, even if it's you know, we're even compatible to go on a date, right? People just go on dates and realize it didn't even work, right? It was like, why the man got to waste $300, $400 and he wasn't even your type of guy? You just ate a meal. You're not saying nothing. You shaking your head.
I'm not here for the first date coffee date. I don't like coffee, first of all. I've never even tasted coffee in my life, right? Although I like Starbucks. They have some nice refreshers, you know, I like a lemonade here and there.
Okay.
But you don't take me on. There's a certain caliber of woman that you take certain places on the first date.
It's not a date.
What is it?
Listen, you want to know about someone. Why do I have to spend $500 on a dinner to find out? We ain't even going in the same. Well, I mean, y'all.
We can go to sushi. We can go to ramen.
That's still $200.
It's not $200.
Come on, you know you want it. It's gonna be at least $200.
No,
you got drinks. You got this. You got that. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna go with 100. Maybe 120.
So is it fair to say when we go, we're gonna spend money, right? Should there be certain questions asked? Should I just be chopping it up about the weather, like?
No, I think that your first date is, listen, the first date that I went on.
I haven't dated yet. I've been married for years, so I don't.
So my first date that I went on with my husband, I knew that date when I left. I was like, this dude trying to get married. I knew it. And I felt that same, you know, I reciprocated that energy. So I felt it too.
Okay.
So I think that you intentionally, you know, you take someone to a nice place because, yes, this is my first impression, and yeah, I'm trying to do something here. I'm not just trying to, you know, hang out here and there. Mm-hmm. You know, but if you know that person is just a hang out here and there person, then we don't even need to talk about them.
But you don't find that out until you went. You don't find that out there here.
You know it when y'all was texting.
Okay.
You knew it. You know, y'all be knowing. You know.
I haven't been on a dating scene in 13 years. Mm-hmm. I'm you know, novice here. So, but I'm just trying to make sense of financial literacy, how we should be smart about our money.
Yeah.
Right. We should be very, in some cases, you know, not
just. I think you should be intentional, and I think that you should be transparent on both ends, men and women. Because at this point, we gonna have to be intentional and frugal in some ways until we figure out what the heck is going on here.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
So, and then too, I think that we have to be open to information too. So just like the information you provide on a weekly basis, you know, on both of your radio shows, I think that it's important to be open to listening to that information.
Yeah.
Like, like there's people giving you free game. I call it free game. I get free game all the time.
Right.
And I think that if you don't take the time to receive that information that is going to be helpful to you along this journey, then it's on you.
Yeah.
Live in an apartment. What you say? Pay somebody else's mortgage.
Pay the landlord's mortgage.
Yeah.
End of the day, being smart with your finance, as I mentioned, live within your means, but dream beyond them. Okay, it's okay to enjoy life, but be smart. Plan for luxury experiences without sacrificing your long-term goals. So if you know you like someone, mention to them about what your goals of expectation are when it comes to home ownership, and not just, spending money, having fun, but owning something. Every year you're buying a new car. You look good, but, I want you to get in some residual income investment properties, real estate that creates equity, right? A wealth mindset. So in my wrap up, financial literacy is the first step toward financial freedom. And listen, no matter where you are right now, it's never too late to start. Your future self will thank you for every good decision you make today. Listen, I hope this show has been fun to you as it has been to myself and E. Carice, my engineer in the studio here. We just want to talk about some things. I wanted to speak about financial literacy, talk about generational wealth, creating wealth through equity. Those things are important. There's a lot of loan programs. And don't forget, because of the administration, there are still funds available. I have some funding available. It's called the WISH program. This program, if you have $5,000, it'll match it times 4. So if you have $5,000, this WISH program can match it times 4, meaning you could get up to $20,000, $25,000, right? So you get $20,000 towards your down payment and closing costs with a simple $5,000. So credit score is important. Remember, we talked about earlier, keep an eye on your credit score. Now, if you're not where you need to be yet, there's a way to get there. I have several lenders who can help you have some credit. Mike was here a few months back. He's credit repair specialist. That's what he does, right? So we want to be able to help you get your credit where it needs to be. Take advantage of some of these programs that are available. We don't use them, we lose them. So you got your tax refund. And just remember, when your tax refund came, a lot of people have already spent them, I'm sure. That happens real easy. It's like a second Christmas, right? 90 days from Christmas is a second Christmas. But hopefully for those of you that have held on to them, make good use. Pay down some debt. Don't make new debt. Pay down some debt, which will release your score to improve. With an improved score will give you opportunities, some of these programs that are available. Because there are programs available right now in Nevada. So again, contact me. I'd love to speak with you. 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group, 702-349-0162. Let's talk more about it. Let's get a game plan, a strategy, if you will, on how to get you into creating generational wealth, how to get you on the platform of financial literacy and to be lit financially, right? How to make your money make money. Instead of us having to go to work and get paid, let's invest our money that while I'm at work, I'm getting paid and my money's making money. That sounds great, but it's also doable. So again, contact me, 702-349-0162. Greg Deville, Deville Realty Group. It's been fun. I've got to go now. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It looks like lake time. Time to go on the lake and go fishing. That's what it feels, 92 degrees today. I'm going to try to do that, but I got to go meet my client. She's signing for her home today. Brothers, I need you guys to contact me, man. I need to give you guys a game plan. The ladies are outnumbering us when it comes to home ownership. I have 2 this month. The 3 last month, they were ladies last month. Well, no, one was the guy from San Diego. But ladies are outnumbering us when it comes to real estate, guys, and I'm going to challenge the brothers. Contact me. Let's talk about where your credit is. I know you say, well, it's shot. That's okay. It can improve. It's okay. We got plans how to make it happen. But without contacting me, it's hard to know where to start. So again, reach out to me. You can go to my Facebook page. You can go to my YouTube. Everything's under Greg Deville. My website, www.gregdeville.com. Everything is under Greg Deville. Remember Deville, like Cadillac Deville. That's me, Greg Deville, 702-349-0162. 0162. I got to go. Until I talk to you next time, Las Vegas, may God's best be yours. Take care.
Jones, hey, Greg Deville was at it, man. Hey, if you want the real, holla at Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. If you want the real, listen to Greg Deville. He'll tell you how to do it. Now get to it. I'm talking real estate, building wealth, making money for your family and yourself. Now tune in. We here to help. Now tune in. We here to help. You want to be a broker? You want to be broke? You want to be the joker? You want to be the joker? You got to bring more.